Aquarius friends, welcome to my channel Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. That's me, my name's Annie, and we're going to read your tarot cards. This will be a general weekly tarot message, specifically geared towards my Aquarius Rising gang. So if you are an Aquarius Rising, you are definitely in the right place. If you resonate as Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, of course you are welcome in this reading, but I do highly encourage you to check out your Rising sign as well, because I am going to be using a little bit more astrology, planetary knowledge in addition to the tarot cards this time around. So as always, highly encourage you to take away messages that motivate, empower, inspire you. Messages that resonate with you first and foremost. If something feels strange or foreign, please feel free to release those messages. Assume they're going out to someone else, and something may strike a chord with you later on, okay? Open heart, open mind, take what resonates. That's my spiel. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions, and we're going to hop in. We'll go around the wheel here and see what's coming in for my Aquarius gang this week. A lot of attention is on you this week, particularly in groups of friends. I don't know if you're recently engaged or you're doing something in a group of your... I don't know, it could be hobbies or team sports leagues. There's something, I don't know, it's like you scored the winning basket or something like that. There's a lot of recognition and praise and attention coming your way. This could also be on social media. There's a lot of eyes on you if you are in fact on social media, or even your online presence this week. It's super underscored. I'm literally getting things like bold, highlighted, underlined, something, and so maybe that has to do with a writing project. It's in making the headlines, or a lot of powerful attention in that area of your life this week. I don't know why I'm making such a point to mention that, but it's coming up, and it seems like a positive message. Let's see what that is related to specifically. Interesting. So you may have made a recent announcement, again, about engagement, particularly to a fire sign. If this is not romantic engagement, there could be a contractual arrangement that has been made to advance your career. But with that, you may have to leave your current place of work, or you may have made some sort of major announcement regarding the next chapter of your life. And with that, it seems like... I'm sort of getting it's bittersweet. There's a heavy-heartedness to go towards this King of Wands, but it could also be something very necessary for you to promote more healing and wellness in your life. Or this could represent the fact that if you're going from this group to that group, the people of group A, if they're your soul family, your soul tribe, they're sad to see you go, but I think in a positive way, because these areas of your life are trining, meaning making a really positive aspect in your advancement here. Whatever this is for you, I think people are encouraging and supporting you, and then certainly, again, a lot of eyes and attention are on you. Standing ovation type vibes. Very interesting. And you do have planet Mars moving through your seventh house of partnership. Specifically, Mars is in Leo right now, so a lot of extra energy, drive, action in that area of your life. And ironically, you actually do have a Leo card showing up there, but this could be any fire sign or anyone who's very passionate by nature, anyone who loves travel and adventure and excitement, loves the thrill of the chase, that kind of thing. A lot of you, this could certainly be partnering up in any sense of the word. So let's see what else is going on here. I do like that quite a bit. Let me kind of... There's an ending to the chapter of your life where you're doing something alone or by yourself. And for some of you, again, there's like a bittersweet aspect to it. There's something very exciting and alluring about some sort of partnership that is about to come in or already is coming in. In fact, it may even have to do with someone from your past, someone who maybe you weren't sure about, or you weren't, at one point in time, you were questioning if they were truly the one or your soulmate, again, if it's romantic. If not, there just seemed to be a lot of questioning and a lot of discernment about, do you see a future with this business prospect or with this partnership, right? More or less, though, I see it being something that you end up going towards, even if there is still a lot of question marks. I think you're going forward with something with faith that the universe must be steering you in this direction for a reason. So yeah, I'm wanting to say you're closing out a major chapter of independence or solitude, or the choice to remain free from certain contracts or obligations or partnership. There's a new chapter of your life that is here, very likely in Cancer season, that has a much more doting nature to it. It has a much more, there's a very deep emotional connection or spiritual connection, even if it is a business partnership. And it might be someone who at one point in time you were a little bit at odds with, or you were willing to put it on pause. You were willing for it to not be your priority, but something has come around where there's an expansion of your resources, possibly of your finances, but also of this sort of joint venture. I get the impression that this person has been waiting on you for some time. It could even be someone who is trying to recruit you in some sense and get you to work with them. And at one point in time, you may have declined their offer. You may have turned it down or rejected it. Yet to me, the universe is saying this is an area of life where, yes, there's a lot of responsibility being placed in your hands, but what you could do with this responsibility is really great. And so in time, I think a lot of you are going to start to see the value in it, if you don't already. For those who are applying to a new job, it seems like you've already submitted your end of the deal, or if, I don't know, you're waiting to hear back from like someone in higher power, especially regarding your advancement in your education or your career. Some of you may be considering going back to a routine or a schedule or even a project, a concept, an idea that you toyed around with in the past. And in terms of hearing back from the boss, again, if this is more like applying to a job, it's stagnant right now. It's not yes or no. It's almost like they put the role on pause. Or they may have accepted applications, but they're waiting to make a final decision on something. For a lot of you, the news is I think for a lot of you, again, these are general messages, guys. I think the news will be positive. I'm sort of looking at how these cards are in conversation with one another. Regarding your money, there's a lot of stagnancy. There's a bit of a standstill. It doesn't mean there won't be things that you can enjoy in the process or in the meantime. Hang out with your friends, hang out with your siblings, invest in the social networks and social relationships you have in your life right now and enjoy them, right? Just simply because, be social. To take your mind off this very important matter that it's almost like you're pacing, waiting to hear the news. The news will come when it is supposed to, and I mean, of course it will. I think, like, I'm wanting to say someone is going to move forward with you, but they haven't revealed that yet. And I don't think it's public knowledge yet, so I don't even know if I'm allowed to be telling you. Your child will be receiving very good news, if that makes sense to any of you. It's possible there could be news of children in your family, maybe, your brother, your siblings, your cousins, or there could be news of the arrival of a child in spring, I'm hearing. That's interesting, okay. Yeah, there's also a message here too of, I think you've invested enough money in this. Now you sort of need to wait and see what pans out without spreading yourself too thin financially. It seems like you're waiting on, I don't know, for some of you, you could also be waiting on a lump sum of money or a loan. Again, this week it looks very stagnant. I don't think there's bad news here. I think there's just a lot of impatience because in multiple areas of life, you seem to be waiting on something or indecisive, needing more information before you move forward with a decision. Again, in multiple areas of your life, I see you joining forces. I see you signing contracts and joining partnerships or networking with new groups of people, both financially and romantically. For those who are single and looking, I see you giving a lot of pause or a lot of thought to someone who you already have interacted with, and you might be wondering if it's time to revisit something. I think internally, especially if this involves a fire sign, male or female, especially for my Aquarian gang, obviously, I feel like this fire sign is already sort of waiting on you. I get the idea that the ball's in your court. So this could have been a relationship from your past that you chose to depart or exit, which again really falls in line with this whole relationship part of your thing. So it doesn't even have to be romantic. I see you deliberating on going back to a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, in any sense of the relationship. I think this person's been waiting on you. I think this person it's almost like they want to welcome you to the family. So even if that is in a more business sense, I don't know what your hesitation is. I'm sure you have your reasons, right? I'm not here to, offer any opinion on that. Only that I feel like if you decided to collaborate with this person, they would welcome you with open arms. But they are getting antsy. They're getting tired of waiting as well. I almost get the idea that in your life there's a domino effect of when you make a decision, it sort of forces you to make another and even possibly another. And then it's also impacting your network of friends. Like your decisions are impacting them and their ability to move forward, which it's not that you have to plan your life around others. Obviously, it's always good to be self-focused, especially in your own tarot reading. But it's almost like someone is waiting on you to make some sort of executive decision so they know where they stand. I think that's a really important message here. It's like everyone's taking their cues from you, almost like a music conductor. It's really funny. That's a really good metaphor for what this is, and maybe that's what some of you do professionally. But it's like someone's waiting for their moment to come into the song, but they're waiting for you to give them the cue or waiting for you to give them the signal. How interesting. So if that's a very foreign metaphor, if that's not making sense, there could be some leadership opportunity where, again, you will be in charge of conducting or orchestrating large groups of people or organizing different projects or different teams or different territories. Do you understand what I mean? There's something about it all. The central hub is right around you. That feels very Aquarian to me. Very interesting message. Yeah, you seem to be harping on the past this week in terms of specifically dating. You may have a water sign who feels rejected by you. You may have rejected a fire sign. Seven of Swords. Where are you lying to yourself? Or where are you wanting to avoid a truth that is a little bit difficult to swallow? You may have to swallow your pride, or I can't reach my card. What am I going to do? There we go. You may have to go back on your word. You may have done or said something, and the High Priestess to me says, you already know what it is. You already know what you did or what you said. And I'm not criminalizing you or whatever the term is. I'm not coming down on you with judgment. That's not it at all. There was something, your head and your heart were on different pages at one point in time, and you seem to be reconciling the two. So either you told somebody you weren't interested in them and come to find out you actually do have feelings for them, or the opposite. You may feel like you were put on the spot or there was pressure put on you to engage further in some sort of partnership or relationship, even though you were kind of like, I don't know if I'm feeling it, but I don't want to lose this person. So sure, yeah, let's move in together. But do you know what I mean? There's something about, again, going back to the past or going back to revise or fix the piece that seems a little bit off about this relationship still. It might involve a Cancer. I do feel like you have a Cancer who's holding out for you. And it is Cancer season. Venus is in Cancer. Where is that for you? So your 6th house is ruled by Cancer in whole sign astrology. And yes, there are many different ways to practice astrology. This is simply one, right? I never mean to offend anyone with my astrological practices. I feel like I need to put that disclaimer. I get a lot of comments about you're doing this wrong. Anyway, yeah, the Sun and Venus are transiting through Cancer, so by default, you may be connecting with one, again, regarding financial matters, as well as your children. There could be an ex-husband or an ex-wife that is of particular significance in the coming few weeks regarding matters of your children. Again, your child's getting good news. Some of you, your child may be applying to schools or admissions or get really good news about a job. I see something very positive regarding your children and specifically their education. Others of you, it also seems like either an opportunity to travel to see your family, if that's been conflicted or delayed. Or you may get word of, I'm hearing things like foreclosure or something about house or property that you've been waiting to hear the final news on. I think that is coming as well, but it's just a little bit delayed. Something about this Capricorn full moon, which is happening this week, might be bringing closure or completion to something in your life regarding matters of the home or, again, the past. I know that's a little bit vague, but something about that, if you've been waiting on especially matters regarding the home, there's a positive aspect that is assisting you in this matter or this endeavor, but it may, especially with Uranus sitting in your 4th house, it may come at a time or in a conversation in a circumstance that's actually quite unexpected. It's like you've been waiting for it for so long, you just assumed it wasn't going to happen, and then out of nowhere it's like, now's the moment. It works out in your favor, but I think it will happen at a time that is very unexpected for you. Yeah, I feel like you need to clear the air with a Cancer or possibly a maternal figure in your life. Some of you feel like you're wanting to go back to your practice of spirituality. I'm almost getting the idea of going to confession. And I know that's more of a specific type of religion, right? If it's not that, that's more of a metaphor of almost needing to clear yourself of something you're holding on to mentally and it's really bothering you. It could just be clear the air with your partner, right? The idea of confession or needing to say something that it's been hidden away or you've been too ashamed to admit it. It could even be coming out with your sexuality, your sexual orientation. It could be something from the past that it's always been there, but it never felt like it was the right time. Again, that culmination of all things hidden, something may reveal itself that actually liberates you. And that's sort of what I mean too about there's an ending about you having to fight this battle alone or feel isolated or like the outsider. I'm just simply using that one metaphor of, coming out with your sexuality. It was always this pain you held on to and you had to suffer in silence. There's a new chapter that it's like, thank goodness that's over. And with that, by default, you're included in the group. It's like you're one of us or you're one of the... There's a happy message here of inclusion and no longer having to do it on your own. Obviously not for everyone out there. It has to do with your sexual orientation. But I would still say that a lot of you, there's this natural pull towards the other or, again, joining a team, a group, a relationship. And some of you have tremendous fear about doing it. I see you struggling to fully commit yourself in a relationship, but I think more so than ever, you're starting to get more comfortable with that idea because in previous chapters, you just weren't ready for it. It was too much too soon, or you just had a lot of personal stuff to work through and sort out, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's your timeline. You have free will here, but... There was an important conversation that took place with the mother or will take place with the mother that opened your eyes to see something in a very different way. And it brings healing or restores healing to a very important relationship in your life. I'm hearing the word formative. It was very formative. I don't know if that's a proper use of that, but your formative years. It could be with a parent, but something with the divine... No, that's not right. There was like a very influential mentor type energy, especially a female. It doesn't have to be a mother figure. It could be your best friend at work, but there's something about, they're an old soul, if that's the case. This wisdom comes through haphazardly, accidentally. This topic is brought up, and it provides you with a lot of spiritual wisdom and insight. And something about that provides... It almost like it cleans the slate. It clears the slate to start building something in a more healthier way or in a new way that promotes more wellness, spiritual, mind, body, spirit, physical wellness in your life. as well as not letting past experiences impede upon very positive, optimistic new beginnings. There's a newfound ability to actually leave the past in the past, and that's really what the Seven of Swords is about too. It's okay to go back to the past and try and rebuild a relationship, but it's almost like you are being asked to do it from without constantly turning back to what has already transpired, like a clean slate. That's the best I can say it. Not holding the other person accountable for things, for mistakes or errors that happened in the past, as well as yourself. I get the idea that the last chapter of your life, the last few months, even years, there's been a lot of introspection about things that you wish you had done differently. And rather than beating yourself up about them, it's a reason to celebrate just how far you've come. Wow, this is kind of powerful, Aquarius. I'm into this. What are we releasing here? You may have felt that in the past, for a multitude of reasons, you may have felt that it was in order to hold yourself back, to not to allow yourself to enjoy the pleasures of life, to not allow yourself to get too consumed in a relationship or fall too deeply in love or invest too long with a company. Very kind of Uranian, the planet Uranus, which is your natural ruler, Aquarius, or especially Aquarius rising. That sort of shocking rebellion, anti-establishment or, anti-status quo, if you will. There was something about needing to do it your own way and being very defiant about the natural... I don't know, something about the natural rhythm or the course or the order of things. There was something in your nature where you felt like you couldn't move forward with it because it was too... I know this sounds odd, but it's almost like you thought it was too normal and that wasn't what you wanted or what you would hope for. Or again, for some of you, this lackluster, I don't deserve it. That couldn't be my path because that's the Cinderella story. You are having a huge change in perspective with Saturn sitting in your first house of ego, identity, leading into your second house of self-worth and ideals and values. This is undergoing major transformation, and with Jupiter sitting in that second house, there's a lighthearted spirit to it. The idea of expansion and growth and perspective, philosophies, mental exploration of seeing things from a higher perspective, that's a major theme in your reading. And don't be frustrated if not all of this is making sense, because there's a lot still left to be revealed here. You have many cards of assessment and waiting patiently, being an active waiter, right? Not just sitting there, hoping things get delivered and dropped in your lap. You wouldn't do that anyway. That's not a very Aquarius thing to me. Good news is on the horizon, though, so this is not a time to give up. You may have really been battling with more Saturnian shadow energy, again with Saturn in that first house. Depression, anxiety may have been a major part of your life, and you may be at a point where you feel that you deserve to be happy, and so you're willing to consider how that has impacted your life and how you can work with it and utilize it in a positive way, and again promote healing and wellness in areas of your life that have been put on the back burner for too long. Saturn is awakening you to the areas where you so desperately need to grow, but with that there's a lot of reward and success in it for you. Yeah, Mercury is trining Saturn right now. In terms of elements, we have both Mercury and Saturn in air energy, which trines you anyway, whether you're a sun sign Aquarius or Aquarius rising. There's a pressure being put on healing your mind or healing your perspective, your way of looking at something, even the way you communicate, the ways in which you communicate, they're undergoing like a transformation, and it's a heavy duty. It's a heavy responsibility. It's not always the most fun thing to go through. However, because it's trining, it's saying this is a gift. This is a blessing in bigger ways than I think you realize, Aquarius. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. I hope this was helpful. Like most true Aquarian tarot readings, this one is a little bit different. So I hope some of you got something out of this. That was my goal. Thanks for joining me today. Remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, guys, and I will see you next week for more tarot. Bye-bye.